Hi friends, it's Kim with Cosmic Studio, and today I want to make a really cute dangly sort of a charm. And what I'm going to dangle it from is actually going to be, ooh, this won't open. Okay, I'm going to use one of these little, I think they're called light bulb safety pins, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to use one that is this color right here. I just did my nail polish and messed it up. Okay, we're going to take some copper wire, and as you see here, I have a Jack Skellington head, a pink pumpkin, I have some purple beads, I have a decorative bead that I'm going to put at the bottom, and my little pin there. So the first thing I need to do is measure out my copper wire, if I can find the other end of it. Alright, so I'm going to do approximately 20 inches. Approximately. I am not going to need anywhere near that amount, but we're going to do approximately 20, and we are going to take it, give it a good stretch out here. Just get it to straighten out. I'm just kind of taking it. It keeps wanting to curl, which is fine. Fine-ish, except when you don't want it to curl. So I'm just going to take it and there we go. Alright, cool. Now we are going to find the halfway point here. I'm going to just kind of take the two ends, bend them nicely, as nicely as I can. Get this top part done. And I'm going to squeeze this. I'm going to use my flatter pair of pliers. I'm going to use my flyers to do this. I'm going to use my, they don't have any teeth in them. That's why I'm calling them my flatter pair. They don't have teeth, which is nice. Okay, we just want to give a little, so I'm going to try and squeeze it down from this angle here, which is pretty good. Okay, that's good. Alright, now the next thing I'm going to do is get a pair of my round nose pliers out. Okay, we're going to take it and we are going to give it a nice, we're going to bend it right about here. Like so. Just going to keep walking it around. Like so. And then we're going to take it like this. But what I want to do is I want to wrap this part here around this part here. I'm going to wrap the longer strands around the neck there. That's what I'm trying to say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this way. I think we're just going to be fine. I think we'll be able to fix that at the end. In fact, we'll use this to kind of guide us here. But I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this around. I just want to give it a nice little okay, I'm going to bring this down. And this is a little longer than I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and give it just a nice little curl, I think. I'm going to curl this, and I'm going to take this out, and I'm just going to walk it like so. It's going to be fine, I promise. Okay, Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. So, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pray that I can actually get these two wires through this. I may have used a little bit too thick of a thing here, but we'll see. Okay, put this down in here, and I'm going to go up. I wanted to give him a little bow tie, but he's not going to get one. So far we have Jack's head and the little pumpkin. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread these apart, and we're going to put 5 purple beads each on each, we'll call them legs of the copper. And hopefully you're getting this in here okay. Okay, so they are not aligning like I want them to, so I'm just going to kind of take them. And it seems you can either have one or the other right there next to the pumpkin. So we are going to try and get them. I'm not going to be super mad if they're not perfect. What I really don't want is I don't want them walking up between each other. Although they probably could. It might be actually okay if they do that. And what I mean is if they stagger like that. I think it's going to be cute. I think it's going to be just fine. So the finishing piece that I'm hoping to get in here, but like I said, I used a bit of a thicker copper than I meant to. So this may not work. And then again, it might. What we're trying to do, and this might be just a problem. There we go. Getting this up as high as we can here. And it's going to have to stop right there. That's just all there is to it. It's going to have to stop right there. Okay. So, this is going to be a tad bit of an issue. So we're going to try and take this and align them. That's perfect. I am happy with that. I'm not upset about this at all. Now, what I want to do is I want to take each leg here, and I am going to not need quite that much. Like I said, I knew I was taking off way more copper than I needed. So I'm going to just go ahead and give it a snip. And I'm going to use my little round nose pliers here. And I'm going to go about halfway. And I'm going to start making a swirl. This is one of the easiest if you don't want to have to use jump rings or anything like that. This is one of the easiest things to do. Okay, you just need to kind of hold this in here, move this one out of the way, and we're going to just take it and I think these would work better. There we go. A couple of good swirls in. Okay, there we've got one. And now we're going to do the other one in the opposite direction. So again, going about halfway or so. And then we're going to just twist this all the way around like that. And then we're going to go ahead and take this one. And we're going to go ahead and give it the spiral. This is pretty easy to maneuver. You might not get your spirals just exactly the way you want them, but you can certainly maneuver and kind of tweak. This one obviously doesn't have as many swirls as the first one. And the next thing I'm going to do is going to be very loud. I'm going to hammer that right there. So it's very thick steel. I think it's like 1/2 inch or 5/8 or something like that. And you want to be careful not to hammer on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to... Okay, and what that hammering there does is it literally makes it harder. It hardens your copper, makes it a little bit harder for it to move around. I'm going to get it back over to a side here. And you don't want to hammer too much. You don't want to thin it out too much. But anyway, this is pretty much where we are at with this now. Hang on, let me get... This is heavy. This is a very heavy piece of metal here. But it gets the job done. Okay, so we have our little dude here. We're gonna hold this, and we're gonna try one more time to kind of bring this back around. Okay, but now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this little light bulb plug here, and you just run that through there. Close it up, and you have yourself a very, very cute dangling piece for a backpack, a purse, whatever. And I like it because it's just going to pin on there. You could change it into a keychain if you'd like to, whatever you want to do with this piece here. But I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to dangle something off of here. I like how this stuff kind of like moves around and offers up some shimmery light. I think it's really pretty. I like that Jack has 2 sides to his head. The pumpkin doesn't spin as much, which is great, but you know, if you like this sort of texture, there's a lot of stuff going on here. I love this. I think it turned out really cute. But like I said, we're going to address this little thing. I'm going to put some sort of a dangle on there. I think we have time. Okay, so I think I will just take this here, just give it a little okay, I'm going to hold this like this. I'm going to bend this just straight up like that. Hang this right here. And I'm going to give it a little pinch in with my pliers. You know what, I've got smaller pliers over here, little pinchy things that I think will work much better for what I'm trying to do over here. There we go. Pinch it in. This is very temporary. I think I'm going to have to do something a little bit different, but I wanted to use this. So this will give us more of a dangle, which is what we want, right? We want the dangle. That's what I wanted. I wanted the dangle. I got the dangle. Let's see if that's going to work like that. And again, with the curly cues. Now, I have jump rings, but my whole point of doing this style is not everybody has jump rings. You can make your own with this type of situation here, but also also, you don't have to. You can do something like this, and this will hold. Okay, I'll just take this center here and I'm going to try and pull it, maneuver it just a bit. Okay, so we have a dangle and we have a dangle dangling from our dangle, which I personally love. I think it's very cute. And I'm just giving it a little bend so that it kind of goes around the head, and when it's, you know, laying, well, that way it's going to go out, but depending on how it's laying, it's going to curve in. So I hope that you like this type of stuff. I love experimenting, I love playing, and I think this turned out very cute. Thank you so much for joining me today for this video. Please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to like this video, as it does tell others to check out my content. And I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to release your inner artisan. Thank you. Bye.